it's me, Bussy, and welcome back to Hot or Hot. And today we'll be heading to the great outdoors to review episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 3. Our queens were challenged to serve 2 campy looks on the runway, when they brought happy campers and the other that they constructed there using leftover camping supplies, Campfire Couture. We'll also be taking a look at some hot tea in today's video covering Victoria's Scone, Veronica's Instagram farewell message where she let us know how she really felt about returning to RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 3, River Medway versus Bob the Drag Queen, and RuPaul herself. Seems like she may be tired of queens blaming things on the edit. We've got a lot to talk about, but before we get started, a quick message from today's video sponsor, YouGov, an easy way to earn extra cash and gift cards just for sharing your opinion. It's easy to start earning on YouGov. Just sign up, complete short surveys, and answer questions about politics, public affairs, products, and people via their website or mobile app, like this one, which is asking me who some of my favorite reality stars are. Hey Chloe, how are you doing? And you'll also earn bonus points just for signing up and more for recommending YouGov to your friends and family. And then when you're ready, you can redeem all those points for cash to fund your next date night with that special someone. A fancy pedicure, perhaps, or maybe even your next video game purchase. Personally, I plan to redeem mine for the new Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl game. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description box of this video to start making money today. Thanks YouGov for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's pitch a tent together. First up, good morning campers, it's Krystal Versace. Her Happy Campers look is giving us a high fashion Girl Scout fantasy. And I'm not sure if it was an accident, but she has served green all 3 times that she's hit the runway so far. The green hometown look, the green look we saw last week, and now this one. She may be trying to trigger Miss Visage. Who knows? But yeah, this look is clean, sophisticated, and there's really not a single badge out of place. That said, it would have been really fun to see her take this into a more campy direction. And not the literal camp, but funny hee-hee-ha-ha camp. I don't know, put 100 more flare badges on that sash. Give us a silly reveal under the skirt. I don't know, anything silly and fun would have been appropriate considering the runway category, but yes, this look is still hot. Scout's honor. And concerning her Campfire Couture look, the fact that anybody can look like this, much less make the looks to make themselves look like this too, girl. I might as well just quit drag. Let's go. Just kidding. What would YouTube do without me? Anyways, this look is giving me vivacious, Shangela, OG Club Kid realness, but make it high fashion and modern. Is it the most unique thing in the world? Maybe not, but it's effing stunning. And looks well made, I might add. The only critique I think worth giving to this look is that the nude pump might not have been the best choice, but come on. I was pretty gagged that the judges were sitting there on the panel being like, we kind of expected this from you, Krystal. I was like, you expected her to come out on that? But then again, they could have just been a little burnt out from all the Krystal they've had the past 2 weeks. I'll take another hit though. This look is hot. Next up, it's Kitty Scott-Claus. This look from Kitty is exactly what I was wanting from Krystal. She took that Girl Scout uniform, added a little bit of hotness to it, and then added some fun to it. The extra badges, the cloggy heels, the high socks, the binoculars. She looks great. This is one of my favorite looks I've seen Kitty in so far. She's going camping, but didn't forget maybe the most important thing about camping. Camp. I think it's no coincidence that the producers lined up Kitty's Girl Scout look right after Krystal's to maybe take some air out of Krystal's runway. Anyways, this look is hot. And as for Kitty's camping couture look, she says she's giving us Barbarella, which I saw immediately with the little strappies, and the way that quilted bodice is giving us a little bit of an armor fantasy meets Judy Jetson. Or in the words of Shangela the Wise Prophet, Judy Jetson Hooker. This again pleasantly surprised me. The bitch looks good. And she's got great references here. My only critique on this outfit is that the skirt I think shouldn't have tapered in, instead flared out a little bit more to give some better movement to the outfit because she does look a little too robotic and stiff as she marches, but still a great look. And I think it's hot. Next up, north, south, east, west, river, Medway. I immediately saw this and thought of Dan Levy's fiasco, to put it lightly, at the Met Gala recently. This is what he should have been wearing. River's giving me Lewis and Clark meets newly rich widow, collecting that insurance check at the husband's funeral. And again, I think surprising everybody with the versatility and all of the different silhouettes that she has brought to the runway. X marks the spot. This look is hot. And as for her Campfire Couture look, oh girl, she is serving. Anything you want. The sky's the limit. Okay, I'm done. It looks like she used handkerchiefs to construct this outfit, and the silhouette is giving flight attendant fantasy, which is a very specific reference that I don't necessarily think lives and breathes high fashion, but I like her take on it. It's simple, effective, and I think demonstrates that River knows her way in, around, and about a silhouette and a sewing machine. This look is hot. Now, concerning that River Medway versus Bob the Drag Queen drama, last week River and Bob had people speculating that there may be a little bit of a kerfuffle developing behind the scenes when River tweeted this. "It's so funny seeing certain Rue girls trash us. Have they forgotten what they looked like on their original season?" Followed up by, "Being a C word isn't a personality trait. Never forget where you come from. Also, this isn't even about me or any queens in particular, just a general running theme I keep hearing about." Interesting that she specified certain Rue girls, but that the tweet was not about anyone in particular. Oh. And Bob chimed in, tweeting, "I agree with the comments. Say their names. I want to know who these queens being C words are." But the apparent drama was very short-lived when, on the same day, Bob later tweeted this: "Me and River Medway are good, everyone. Sorry to report." Next up, hopping down the camping trail, it's Charity Kase. This look immediately brought me back to my sick, twisted, demented childhood when I would watch Happy Tree Friends, which, if you're unfamiliar with that, please don't Google it. Anyway, this look is very Charity. As someone who was a fan of her art before the show, I think it's really cool to see what literally looks like one of her Instagram posts plopped right out of the internets and dropped onto the stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. She has spray painted this custom rabbit suit and she looks absolutely terrifying. And I love it. The more scared I am, the better. I will say my only critique/criticism that I had looking at this look was, why is she dressed as a rabbit? Like, are rabbits somehow related to camping? I don't know. I've never been. And don't plan to either. But yeah, this look is another fatality. It's hot. Taking a look at her campfire couture look though, my first thought when I saw this one was Mad Hatter, and then I was like, oh, maybe she was doing some kind of like Alice in Wonderland thing where she was the white rabbit at the beginning and now she has become the Mad Hatter. I could be wrong though. Anywho, this look is like 50% amazing, 50% a little bit of a letdown. It's definitely a unique silhouette with those giant hips, and I like that it feels fresh with the yellow gingham instead of the typical red. Plus the hat and shoe covers show that she's really thinking about all the details. I think it did come off just a tad, lazy isn't the right word, but I can see the judges using that word because when she turns around, there's nothing there. I think she was too focused on giving the judges a little bit of a thrill that she forgot to keep the thrill a surprise until the last minute. That said, this was still an excellent look, and I think it's absolutely hot. We also got to hear Charity share her story about living with HIV this episode, which I think is really important that RuPaul's Drag Race keeps reiterating and sharing this story when they can, because there are so many people in this big umbrella of a community that we have that don't know much or anything about it, which results in stigma. The important takeaway here being, of course, that a virus does not define somebody, and more importantly, undetectable equals untransmittable. Next up, Cookie. Cookie. I just looked at her photo and thought Cookie Monster. Ooh, Cookie Choriza Monster May. This is definitely one of the strangest looks on the runway tonight. But do I like it? I've been saying this thing about Choriza for the past couple of episodes where she uses so many different textures, pieces, and parts in her looks that she's in danger of losing the message of the outfit on the audience. She has avoided that thus far, but this one, girl, had me scratching my head. Stylistically speaking, as like an abstract garment, I kind of like this look. It's fun. But for the theme happy campers, it just did not deliver. Girl, she said she was a rock climber, then she said she was Dora the Explorer, and I'm like, girl, I think Miss Dora got lost while she was climbing up those rocks, slipped, fell, and died because this look is a rat. Maybe she should have called up her friend River Medway and taken a look at that map. Moving on, her camping couture look. I actually kind of like this one at first too. It was giving me like Evil Villain from K-Word Bill vibes. It certainly wasn't the best thing on the runway, but I think it could have been serviceable on the runway given that we had an entirely different cast because these girls did not come to play. And the more you look at it, the more it does look just a tad arts and craftsy compared to some of the other dress looks that we saw on the runway, like from Ella and Scarlett, which we'll get to here in just a minute. Unfortunately, this look just was not giving what it was supposed to have gave, but I'm gonna give her a warming up instead of a rot because of that crazy story about the ex and the camping and the owl. Next up, may the odds be ever in her favor. It's Scarlett Harlett. We did find the Hunger Games stand in the cast tonight. If you remember her hometown runway, that was kind of giving me Hunger Games like District 1. This one's giving me Katniss District 12. And while it didn't necessarily say camping, like traditionally speaking, I kind of thought about it and I was like, yeah, when you're fighting for your life and death in the wilderness, you do have to camp. So it did ultimately, I think, fit the theme quite well. I also love that it had this gothy Mad Max vibe mixed into it, and personally, I'm just kind of a slut for an all-black goth outfit, so I think this look was hot. And her campfire couture look is the perfect foil to her happy campers look. If our first one was giving Warrior Princess, this one is giving us Easter Sunday. And I'll be totally honest, I did not think that Scarlett had this in her. It is a gorgeous look. I also really enjoyed that she did something relatively simple to what some of the other girls did, but ended up winning nonetheless because of how perfectly executed this dress was. Whoa, this look is hot. Next up, where'd she go? It's Vanity Milan. Okay, The blue camo coat blanket thing, I think could have worked had she totally reworked the idea. I think the main problem with it was that when she turns around, it looks like just a giant duvet cover that she pulled off of her bed. And it looks heavy, like it's sagging and dragging her silhouette down instead of lifting her up or looking flowy and elegant. The other issue, of course, being that under that crazy blue camo blanket, she has on like a pink Power Rangers morph suit, which was a very bold choice. I don't know what she was doing here. I didn't get camping. I really didn't get anything besides confusion from this one. This look's gotta be a rat. And as for her couture look, she can't come to the phone right now. She's all tied up. She had me screaming when she was listing off her references of what inspired this look, including, quote, tribal African princess realness and early Nicki Minaj. I don't know exactly what she was going for, but I think this actually could have been really successful had she had more time and more rope. For example, getting rid of that orange crinoline thing under the rope and layering the rope so that there was just like cascades of different colors of rope down to about that same length would have been really sickening. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing like the camping rope version of Roxy Andrews' candy ball outfit she did that was like twirling and moving as she came down the runway. The other problems being, of course, that she needed to cover those corset buttons and I think needed to reconsider the styling of this look. I'm not gonna get too knotted up about it though. This look is a rot. Next up, she was saved by a flying wild man in a loincloth. It's Vaday. This look, of course, is an obvious reference to Jane from the Disney movie Tarzan. I think it was also one of the more interesting choices for this category that we saw on the runway tonight. I think she and Kitty were the only ones to really get campy in the camp category, which was kind of a shame. That said, I do want to say I feel like this look is a tad costumey, and there's nothing wrong with wearing a costume. There's nothing wrong with costume drag at all. But I do think when you have something that is so exact to a reference that it looks like a costume, you do lose personal elements of what your drag is and could be. Instead of seeing Vaday, I'm seeing Jane of the Jungle. But I do still think this look is hot. In her couture runway, I was really happy to see her in this look. I think the dress was perfect for her. The blonde hair, sexy. She looked hot. And I think for one of the first times dressed, I don't want to say age appropriately, but she has on the past couple of runways, I think made her drag character look a bit older than she needed to. Unfortunately, the look was not perfect though. Those two raincoats that she put together to create the giant shoulder silhouettes looked a little, not thought out, unfinished, mismatched. It just didn't really make a lot of sense. Had she instead taken one raincoat, maybe cropped it at the chest and done a little like shoulder jacket, maybe it could have worked. So the dress and everything without the raincoats gets a hot, but as presented, rat. Next up, looks like she woke up on the wrong side of the bag today. It's Veronica Green. This look is special, unique, and I have no idea what the hell's going on here. In her confessional, she's explaining that this look is a girl who's been at a festival and partying all night long. But I'm getting more prisoner escaped from solitary confinement and is on the run. Because the thing is, there's a way to do bad or intentionally ugly looks in a fashionable way. However, I think intentionally smudging your makeup, not perfectly constructing a dress from the sleeping bag, and then pairing it with mismatched hiking boots just didn't take us all the way to Paris. Instead, we were left out in the cold. This looks a rat. And as for her campfire couture look, it was not the metamorphosis that she had hoped it would be. To put it lightly, I think she had a really great idea for this look, I've gotta say. Butterfly coming out of darkness? Brilliant. The sister look to this, of course, being Jasmine Masters' iconic butterfly coming out of a chrysalis runway. I feel like this, Jasmine's runway, and then a curious butterfly runway are like the three horsemen of the apocalypse. Ultimately, I think Veronica was just a little too ambitious. Should have put wings on the back of the dress to be the butterfly wings, but unfortunately they look just more like broken pieces of an umbrella. And the ruffles on the body part of the dress are pretty, but they don't have any actual shape. There's no cinching, and then they randomly stop at her thighs and turn into just like billowing sheets of satin fabric. And then of course there's the makeup that doesn't actually match the rest of the look. This butterfly has seen dark days, but hopefully there are only bright ones ahead. This look is a rat. Now, let's talk Victoria's Scone. The pun finally makes sense. because she's gone. On doctor's orders though. This was really unfortunate, but girl, we all saw this coming. No doctor in their right mind is going to look at somebody with a knee injury and tell them that they should, for the next 6 to 10 weeks, continue to walk on 6-inch heels and compete in performances where you're going to be dancing your ass off. The thing that was confusing for me though was that Ru said we probably haven't seen the last of her, although didn't mention that she had an open invitation to return like they did for Veronica last season. So when will we see her again? Who knows? Hopefully soon though, because she is talented as hell and we're gonna miss her in this competition. Our bottom two tonight are Vanity Milan and Veronica Green, which are also my bottom two. Makes perfect sense here. And I did react to this lip sync and the entire episode over on my Patreon at patreon.com/BussyQueen. That's my members only website where my patron family gets exclusive member benefits like early access to my videos, exclusive videos, access to the Bussy Queen Discord server, and more. Click the link in the description of this video to join today. See you there. Overall, this lip sync was good, but Vanity was the obvious win here for me. So Veronica sashays away, but I actually was kind of surprised to see Ru eliminate somebody tonight, considering we are a girl short, which means she could have not done an elimination. Or maybe it means she'll fix the count in another way later by bringing somebody back, or perhaps a double Shantae down the line. Who knows, but let me know what you think will happen down in the comments below. No spoilers though. But concerning Veronica's farewell, the day the episode aired, she wrote this on Instagram. That's it, party's over. I can't say how much I've loved being on RuPaul's Drag Race UK. I'm so grateful to Ru and the entire production team. When production shut down on season 2 in March 2020, I came home to a world that was changed forever and I lost all of my work. Over the summer, I fell into uncontrollable debt and spiraled into depression with no way to get myself out. How could I even think about improving my runways when I was on the verge of bankruptcy? In retrospect, I shouldn't have accepted Ru's invitation to season 3. At the time, I was under so much pressure with season 2 just being announced, was thrust into a worldwide spotlight, and wasn't prepared for season 3. Finishing this whole message with, I really do believe everything happens for a reason though, and I'm in a much better place now. Thank you to everyone that supported me. My love to you all, XVX. It is pretty crazy to see somebody regretting their choice to come back to RuPaul's Drag Race, but it's really nice to see that she has overcome that feeling and is ultimately doing better now. Now on to our winner this week. The win went to Scarlett Harlett, which was a surprise and also not a surprise because I watched the episode and was like, oh, well, Krystal's probably gonna get another win. However, you could see the judges not wanting to give another win to Krystal, telling her that they expected her to basically kill it on the runway tonight, which I don't really know how that's a critique, but that's what they said. It was obvious that they were looking for somebody else to pass a win on to, or else this was quickly going to devolve into Krystal Versace's Drag Race. So all that considered, I think Scarlett was a great choice for the win, but I was surprised to see them totally overlook Charity Kase again. But let me know what you're thinking down in the comments below. Who were your tops, who were your bottoms, and who would you have given the win to and sent home? In other hot tea, RuPaul just dropped this single called Blame It on the Edit, which feels a little strange. The lyrics RuPaul posted to his Instagram read, she wanna blame it on the edit? Blame it on the edit. She wanna blame it on the edit. You the one who said it. Edit. Go on and take the credit. B-word. You the one who said it. B-word. How are you gonna regret it? Blame it on the edit. Blame it on the edit. And I'm not sure where this was coming from or who it could be directed at. Of course, there's many queens in the franchise who have talked about not liking the edit they received from the show, including queens like Alona Burley, Jeremy, FKA Fifi O'Hara, Max, and others. The reason it felt interesting to me was this song was released off the back of Canada's Drag Race about to start, with Jeffrey Bowyer-Chapman not returning, blaming his not returning on how the fans responded to his edit. And it gets even stranger considering that RuPaul was good friends with Jeffrey and of course talked with Jeffrey while all of this was going on last season, according to an interview that he did with The Hollywood Reporter. So it seems that Ru is kind of a bit at odds with how production treats people on the show and how people feel they are treated by production on the show, if that makes any sense. But anyways, we'll be doing a deep dive on the truth behind JVC and Canada's Drag Race coming this week, so stay tuned for that. As for my hottest hots, my hottest Happy Campers look goes to Charity Kase. I also asked my patrons to vote for their hottest Happy Campers look and they chose Vaday. My hottest Campfire Couture look is Krystal Versace, and my patrons chose Scarlett Harlett. As always, I want to say thanks to you for watching this video and give a special shout out to Andrew F, King Sothis, Ray Singh, Will Yaxley, 603D Bo, Lizzie, 11 years of BFAS, Ross, Caroline, Ross, Nav Herod, Courtney, and the very god queer who've all just joined my Patreon at the hot and hottest hot tiers. And Lark, Angel, Adaluda, Cyrus, Felicia, Jared Rocks, JB, Joseph, Josh Marchand, JP in Dallas, Laura, Maxilo, wow, Miss F. Neely, Rochambeau, Robert Reeves, Scooby Snacks, Sailor, Steven, Tom Jago, Tom Young, Topher, Triton, and Bailey, who were all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. See y'all later. Love ya. Bye.